Las Vegas, the city where chance and good luck are the valued commodities. Tonight, though, it's about skill. It's about basketball. Welcome to the USA Basketball Showcase, presented by Nike. From inside the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, 34 of the best basketball players on the planet on the for training camp. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, courtside, along with 10-time USA basketball coach PJ Carlissimo. Mark Stein joining us in just a bit. A quiet summer for USA basketball, PJ, ranked #1 in the world. They got their eyes on Rio. What's this summer mean?
Well, this summer, managing director Jerry Colangelo sent out the mandate. If you want to be considered for the team, 2016, the Olympics in Brazil, be here. 34 players are here. They want to be a part of that experience.
And it's a great time to reflect for the USA basketball family. It has been 3 great days of get-togethers and conversations with the various players. And let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Nike tonight. It's blue against white. There's a look at some of the players on the court tonight. And Klay Thompson, who launches a quick 3 right there to start the game off, misfiring, but he was a member, one of several members of that World Cup championship team last year in Spain in the FIBA World Cup. Brad Beal knocks down the first field goal of the ball game. It's 3-0 blue.
A couple of threes out of the shoot right away.
And of course, that FIBA line, PJ, you well know, is a significantly shorter line than the NBA line.
Very attractive line for the shooters.
Here's DeMarcus Cousins. The Sacramento Kings center off the mark, and up court comes the blue team. Harrison Barnes, who's in the USA pipeline, knocks down a 3 ball. Kawhi Leonard, the former finals MVP of the Spurs, gets the second one to go. PJ, this seems to be trending in an offensive direction right now.
Well, it certainly does, and it's the middle of the summer. These guys have not been killing themselves. They're not in the best of shape, and they're certainly not in good shooting shape. So I think we're going to see some clangs occasionally.
Here's Brad Beal off the screen. Back to DeMar DeRozan, the star for the Toronto Raptors. Made the All-Star team this year. His team losing in the first round, though, to the Washington Wizards. Thompson out top, looking at Leonard. DeMarcus Cousins, goaltending called on Andre Drummond.
The 2 bigs who helped lead us to that gold medal in Spain in the World Cup, Drummond and Cousins going against each other. Really, the 2 days of practice here, Mike Krzyzewski did more shooting than anything else. Very little defensive drills, nothing live.
Players arrived here on Monday and went through an initial meeting. Here's Blake Griffin. That alley-oop pass a little bit off the mark. Never quite got there. Brad Beal from downtown, and Brad Beal with that smooth stroke shot 41% from downtown this year for the Washington Wizards. Here's Kawhi Leonard. Leonard able to be part of USA basketball this year, was unable to coming off that championship season last year. He was fatigued a little bit.
He and Jimmy Butler kind of fit that mold that Mike Krzyzewski likes too. Versatile players, play both ends of the floor, and really can contribute.
Here's Kenneth Faried, who was a starter last year in Spain on the World Cup championship team. Nice dime to Harrison Barnes for the bucket.
A lot of people were surprised, Jonesy, that Faried was on that team. Not only on it, he was one of the better players in Spain.
Yeah, great point, PJ. He made the all-tournament team. And Cousins certainly was pivotal in USA basketball success as well.
The young bigs, you have to feel good about USA basketball, not just now on the 60-some game win streak, but going forward. So many talented young players.
USA basketball is 75-1 under Mike Krzyzewski and Jerry Colangelo since they took over in 2005. Harrison Barnes had it rim out. And back comes Blake Griffin, who has missed out on a couple of opportunities to be a part of USA basketball. Good dime to Michael Carter-Williams for the layup. Talked about the number of players in the pipeline. 34 in all came into training camp on Monday. 11 of the 12 players returned from the championship team last summer, and 8 players from the 2012 Olympic team in 2008. And Blake got hung on the rim that time. DeRozan throws it down at the other end.
Important to note, Mark, that the players did not have to agree to play in the game. We got some guys that are injured, we got some guys that are fatigued, but they had to be here in Las Vegas and be part of the mini camp.
Griffin to Cousins for the alley-oop, and Mike Krzyzewski was telling us before the game, PJ, that this weekend has been very much like a family reunion for these players.
Well, again, they need to reaffirm. They want to celebrate the past success, but it's important for him to reestablish the culture, to remind the veteran guys like LeBron or Carmelo Anthony have been a part of 3 Olympic teams, and then you got a whole bunch of young guys, and he wants them to learn this is the way we operate. This is how important it is to wear those USA letters on your chest and what that entails.
They've certainly emblazoned a distinct culture since 2006. Cousins with the quick hands knocked it off of Barnes out of bounds. It'll be white basketball. Coach Mike Krzyzewski was an assistant coach in the USA basketball pipeline for a long time and has been the head coach since 2006. 68 years old, and that fire continuing to burn. You know, there was talk, PJ, that he might step away from it after London, but convinced to come back.
Yeah, Jerry Colangelo is a very persuasive gentleman. He convinced him. Those two have been at the top, and Jim Boeheim sitting to Mike Krzyzewski's right, also a critical part of the success.
Jim Boeheim and Tom Thibodeau, the coach of the white team tonight, erstwhile coach of the Chicago Bulls. Monty Williams coaching the blue team tonight, the former head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans. Here's Michael Carter-Williams driving the baseline, and that's what got Fareed on the team last year, his motor.
I was just going to say, this is not going to be a defensive tape that Tibbs is going to want to look at, and then Kenneth Fareed makes a really good defensive play.
Timeout on the floor, the Blue out to a quick 7-point lead. Monty Williams teed with the advantage when we come back to Las Vegas. That's how they do it in USA Basketball.
ESPN's presentation of USA Basketball is presented by Nike and in part by the Samsung Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge and Jeep, the official vehicles of summer.
Well, unfortunately, a year ago, the celebration of USA Basketball turned into a cataclysmic injury for Pacer star Paul George when he crashed into the stanchion and broke his right leg. He suffered a compound fracture. The Pacers forward played only 6 games of the previous season, averaged just 15.2 minutes per game, although he did shoot well from downtown. And Mark Stein has more on the Paul George story.
Yeah, Jonesy, Paul George was here this week. He was part of a team meeting on Monday, met privately with Coach Mike Krzyzewski, but then USA Basketball excused him, sent him home, didn't want to have to subject him to a bunch of questions. And of course, the stanchions here at the Thomas & Mack Center a full 2.5 feet farther back than they were last season. That's a change UNLV made in February.
Well, the good news for Paul George is that he is back, he is healthy. He's already made a tour of the Philippines and Asia and doing whirlwind 360 dunks, looks healthy again.
He looks healthy and he feels very good. Had a chance to visit with him Monday night. Feels really good where he's at right now, and he is anxiously looking forward to getting back out there for a full season.
Yeah, the Pacers helped themselves during the offseason. Here's Michael Carter-Williams coming back the other way for the white team, right now trailing. And the former Rookie of the Year with a nice layup to make it a 3-point game.
Some of the young additions in the game now. Elfrid Payton with a beautiful move.
Elfrid Payton, one of those players that Mark Stein pointed out was a late invite to the game here. And Payton does have USA Basketball experience, playing on the under-19 World Championship team a couple of years ago. And Amir Johnson missing the layup. But that tournament in FIBA basketball was a big part of him raising his draft stock, BJ.
Well, so many of these players started out young in that pipeline that Jerry Colangelo loves to talk about. They played in these early competitions, the under-19, the under-17s, under-18 and 16 FIBA tournaments, all of which we're currently gold medal holders right now. So USA Basketball is on an incredible run, and these young guys just started. We see Aaron Aflalo, Amir Johnson, Terrence Jones, and Elfrid Payton really helping out right now, filling out the rosters and allowing us to have a competitive game tonight.
A lot of players came, most of the 34, all of the 34 showed up, but not all stuck around for the game, had previous obligations. LeBron James, one of those players. He did participate and participated enthusiastically in the practice.
They were getting after it yesterday. Part of the practice was not a lot of one-on-one, but Kevin Durant, who's not playing, LeBron, and a number of other guys, James Harden, they went at it pretty good in a very entertaining part of the post-practice.
Guys just can't help themselves once they show up.
Hey, let's play.
5-point lead for the blue team. Michael Carter-Williams over the midcourt line. Little click and roll with Plumlee. Instead, it's Jones blocked inside, and Oladipo leading numbers for the blue team. It's a 4-on-2, and Payton finishes on the other end.
Nice look from Rudy Gay.
And Plumlee with the alley-oop. Plumlee came off the bench last year on that World Cup gold medal winning team.
Jonesy, he made the team by how he played here. He came in not as a member of the team, but the select team playing against him, and he played so well in the mini camp that he earned a spot on that World Cup team.
So the bottom line, eyes are watching once you come out and practice and try out.
Same thing happened to Kevin Durant back in 10. Kevin Durant played so well in 08, and he just impressed the team. So just because you're not on an initial roster, these mini camps are very, very important.
Oladipo fouled by Plumlee. He'll go to the foul line for a pair. Well, the Angels, led by Mike Trout and Lorenzo Cain, and the Royals. Baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown gets your coverage started at 7 Eastern time. Angels-Royals Sunday at 8 Eastern on ESPN, and also on Watch ESPN. As Fareed checks out of the ball game. Kenneth Fareed, last year during training camp, made such a great impression. You had alluded to it a little bit earlier, and he made the All-Star team at the World Cup of Basketball and started every game for USA Basketball.
Well, all of us prognosticators wouldn't even have had him on the team, and they're saying, well, who are they going to pick looking at this roster? It was a more open situation. It was a more fluid situation last year. No one thought, or very few thought, he would make the team. Not only did he make the team, but as you said, an all-tournament performer and arguably one of the two best players in Spain.
And PJ, that's a little different when you think about as Terrence Jones gets the bucket. The prototypical quote-unquote stretch four in international ball, right? That sometimes they